Hey everyone, thatoldnerfguy here. Today I wanted to show you a little mod I did on a magazine. I was kind of excited by the announcement by Nerf for the Nerf Rival Finisher with that 7 round magazine that got that little side bay to load around in it on the fly. It seems a little tricky to open from what I've heard. So I decided to give it a shot with a regular 12-rounder, and basically here's the result. I mean, it's working. My only complaint about this thing, besides the rod going all the way down and up, but still, this rod is what's make it possible, is the fact that I made this one for left-handed player and I am right-handed. Normally I would load this side. I didn't took that into consideration when I made this one. And since I haven't took any of it on video, I decided to make myself this right-handed one. It's not completely finished, but it's working, it's done. So I'm gonna explain to you what I did to this little thing. For this you will need like minimal tools, a drill with a special bit I made with a coat hanger and a metal file. I just made it 3-side. I just sharpened it on 3-side, very sharp, so it acts as a drill bit, and very long. This is going to be used to make the hole to insert the rod all the way into the magazine. Then small screwdriver to disassemble the magazine with the screw and to pierce the first hole that guide everything all the way through. Small flat screwdriver for prying at some point. Precision cutter, very helpful. Some steel cutter, because you will need to have some metal rod and cut at the right length. I made this tutorial so you use really like a coat hanger that you cut a little part. You see how I was preparing to do another one again. With this tool it's quite easy. First thing first, you go at the bottom and you pierce your first hole. You just sit the screwdriver very square and you pierce the first hole. And then once the hole is pierced, it takes only few seconds, maybe a minute to pierce it. This plastic is quite easy. Make sure you take a very thin one, very sharp one, and that you pierce very straight. Then you continue, you keep your rod very straight and you mark your hole, your center, with the screwdriver for the second hole. And now it's time for the drill and the rod. You take this drill, you insert it in the first hole, you align it with your center hole, and you go very slowly, very gently, backward and forward, alternating from time to time. Will take you about a minute per hole to do maximum. It's not very hard, but if you rush things up, you will end up cutting some of those posts. And the 3 first one are the one required for the strength. Now is the tricky part. You remove the cover, remove the screws everywhere, and it starts for disassembly. You need to cut all those solvent weld on all the 6 clips. You will kill some of the clip when you pry it open. Be sure you cut all the way under it, all the way over it, and that little line on the top of it, which connects to the other half of the magazine. Those can be tricky. Don't worry, as long as you don't sacrifice the corner, everything is going to be solid if you ever have to glue it to make it work. But they are kind of fragile and tricky. This is like the hardest part, getting this thing into 2 parts, 2 different pieces. Once it's separated, there's that little notch inside that you need to clear out, because those 3 last holes, you need to pierce them using the tool but from the other end, and there's a little plastic nut that you need to remove for the rod to go all the way up, but that is not necessary for any strength in particular with this magazine. So you just cut the two side here, cut it underside with the precision cutter, it just coming off easy. And take the follower, you need to cut a little notch of the follower just to give it some working space, going up all the way and going down at the right level with the window for the right operation. Take your precision cutter and cut the interior, the inside portion of the 3 last holes on your magazine. Those 3 holes, because you will need to remove just the bottom, so the 90-degree bend that you have at the top of your rod is gonna be able to slide along and stop on the last one, so it doesn't go all the way through to the bottom and it's not too long at the end. Once all this is cut, all the holes are done, you take the rod and you insert it in. Once insert all the way in, you can clip everything together, see that it goes at the right place. Once everything is together, you bring it all the way down and you mark where your window should be. I did my 2 magazine identical with the window at the same place. I just carve my window basically. I mark it with the precision cutter and I carve it off with the other end. After a while I just pry it out with a small flathead screwdriver. The door come right off, I just need to sand off and maybe shape it up differently. So far so good, it's working pretty well like that. Once all is done, little trick, the tip of it in the middle of the rod, just bend it backward once everything is together and at the right place. This will give it some tension to stay down when you're at the end. It's like those 2 holes will become misaligned, and that's what's gonna hold the follower down while you reload, and then you push it up once you're finished reloading, so everything can go up and down freely in the magazine. Basically that's it. Once the window is done and it's shaped the way you want it, it's working. Be sure to bend the rod. Oh, one thing to note, once the rod is bent from both ends, basically it is stuck there. So be sure it's at the right place and having the right operation and right length, otherwise you are stuck like that. Other than that, it's an easy mod. It's very practical, very functional. That idea from Nerf was good, but I think this one for Apollo era and Helios only. Maybe Hypnos, haven't tried it, but other than that it doesn't fit because of the rod. No, this was, I think that's about everything I had to say about this magazine. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at thatoldnerfguy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Hope to see you next time. Bye.